Everybody, welcome back. Alright, so what we're doing today is we're going to be using some of our gear pack and SHTF equipment that we've gotten, and we're going to use some natural material for the desert. I just have this palm frond here, and we're going to use some of these tools to see if we can process and build a fire. As you know, we did get this fire kit from Gear Pack. We got our Remington saw. So we're going to be using this on that palm frond because this is pretty woody. So we're going to be doing some of the cutting with that. We are using the bushcraft knife that we got from SHTF. I like this little knife. It fits in this pack very nicely. And then of course we have our fire whistle. Alright. Now what we're going to try to use, we're going to try to make some natural material using these palm fronds. And we're going to see if we can get enough pile of dust built up so that we can get it strike. Now I will be putting it in this iron pot here. This is again for safety reasons. I live in the desert. It's kind of dry right now. I don't want to start a fire. So, and one of the important things about doing anything in the wilderness is that you have to use the proper safety materials, items. So I'm using some leather gloves. I'm not using the ones we got from Trailblazer yet because I want to do a whole video just on those. But for starters, what we're going to do is we're going to be using our little bushcraft knife here, and I'm going to take these palm fronds off the top of this. So again, in the desert, almost everything has spikes. As you can see, this palm branch does have a lot of spikes. But we're going to get in here. We're going to see how well this cuts these off. Alright, we can Alright, so we can quickly, so we can get a good pile of these palm fronds built up relatively quickly. Again, you have to keep your hands safe, so I do recommend packing gloves in your kits. These, I got like 3 packs of these at Lowe's for like $5. Really cheap price. But then when you're breaking up your material, you're keeping your hands safe. And trust me, you lose your hands. I recently crushed my thumb. It's kind of growing back, so that kind of put me out of the loop for a little bit. But you can see here, you can put some gloves on, and you can break up these dry palm fronds to get yourself a fire going. Alright, so next up we're going to get the other half of that off. And again, you have to be careful because there's thorns on everything. In fact, if you can, it's even a good idea to strip the sides of these off first. That way, as you can see, you can actually make this a lot less dangerous to work with. So, the only downside to that is then you end up with these sawtooth jagged edges all over. So, we'll have to rake it up afterwards, of course. But that makes this a lot easier to use. And as you can see, quickly and easily, we have defrond our palm stick. Alright, so now then You can hear that cracking. This is very dry. Alright, so next up we're going to take this palm frond, still has a couple, but we're going to use our Remington saw tool that we got from Gear Pack, and we're going to see how well this cuts. Alright, it cuts pretty nice. We're actually going to take the lid of the pot here, take the lid of our iron pot, and I'm going to use it to catch the sawdust. Because we can use that sawdust as tinder. And so, no point letting it go to waste. Now, this would probably cut a lot easier if it was on a tree, being that this is actually off already. But these teeth are aggressive. As you can see, it's cutting into it really nicely. And this is good because you can use this to fashion tools if you need to also. Again, we don't want to make a big fire, but we want to see if we can get this stuff to go up. So, and again, I'm going to cut this into smaller pieces. Now this is not the easiest saw to use, I'll be honest. But again, I'm crouched down, so I'm kind of in a bad position anyway. But the nice thing is that since it is such a short blade, you have a lot of control over when you're using it. So, but again, not good for like big projects by any stretch of the imagination. But it will work in a pinch. And again, this is not designed to be cutting down anything major. This is not designed to be building shelters with or anything like that. They put this in there to do stuff like this, build a fire. You know, you can process the small pieces of wood, get some sawdust like I'm doing, because of course that sawdust is going to take a spark very easily. Alright, so now we have our sawdust here. Now we're just going to take a few pieces of this. And let me put my glove back on because I don't want to cut my hands on anything. I do have to work today. And we're going to break this up. And as you can see, I'm kind of twisting my hands. That's why I break these up into really small fibers, because we do want it to be able to catch fire. At any rate, and then we'll move it down into there. And then we are going to apply the wood to it. Now the reason I'm doing this iron pot, another reason is because it does have the lid. And so that means that we're going to be able to very quickly and easily extinguish this if need be. Now, one of the features of this does have a whistle. It works. That's a good safety feature. Then you open this up, and inside we have a piece of waxed fire tinder. And so, again, and a lot of times, like once you get your fire going, you want to do your best to keep it going. However, a lot of times with these wax pieces, you don't need the whole thing. So we're going to cut this in half. We're only going to use half of it to catch the spark. The other half, we're going to put back in our fire flute. Now, my knife is carbon steel, so I should be able to strike it. this way. There we go. I should be able to strike it without having to use the striker on the fire whistle. But just so we can give it a quick test here. See, with this, there's not like a lot to hold on with this striker in this position, right? So yes. So you can get it, but you don't really have that much grip on it. So I don't really like that. However, if you do have a good carbon steel knife, you can get it in there. So we're going to be using the bushcraft knife, which is another. We're going to try that Remington saw blade as well. But with these fire things, you kind of want to fray the end up a little bit. So you kind of, you want to break it up because you want those fibers, to be present. That way, it actually takes the spark. And we're going to break that up. Get those fibers present there. We're going to put that in our tinder pile there. Now let's see if that actually throws really good sparks. So what they gave us a pretty good kit, but we didn't have a knife because this was the knife. So that's why I added the knife. But we're going to try to get this to go. There we go. You can see. And actually, the natural tinder caught easier than the fire plug, but the fire plug's there, so that's going to help us build the fire up. So this Remington saw definitely does the trick. All right. Now once this starts getting going, we're going to slowly and carefully. Make sure it keeps burning. Then we're going to drop it into our fire pit. There you got it. We got ourselves a nice little fire going. Then of course you can use your wood. You can put your wood in there on top of it. We got a lot of heat coming off of that. A couple sparks from that. Using the back of the Remington. We could use the back of our knife, but the fact that we don't have to is a help. Having that fire plug in there, also a game changer. So yeah. Now of course, and again, the reason I said I chose this is because we can extinguish the fire with this. So I really like this. I really like this pot. So there you go. There you have it. So I do highly recommend building a fire kit like this. Now we have redundancies. We have additional spark kit equipment in here. We're not going to talk about that at this point in time. We're going to look into those later. But today I wanted to highlight the Remington saw, the fire flute, and then that knife that we got from SHTF. And of course, I really do like this kit. It's got two straps on the back, so you can put it on your belt easily, strap it to the back of your pack, and you have a nice little fire kit you can carry with you. All right, anyway, that's it. Hey, that's it for today's video. Again, I'm going to start doing more stuff with the equipment we got, but I recommend this equipment, okay? And believe me, I don't say that often with Gear Pack, but this stuff that we got this month was pretty good stuff. The fire flute, that Remington little saw does the job. Not the easiest, but it does the job, and it does fit in this kit, so you don't have to dig into your bigger kit to get your saw out. You can process what you need from a fire in this little bag here. All right, that's it. Until next time, keep prepping. Hey, and if this is the first time on our channel, please consider that subscribe button. Leave me a comment, send this out, and don't forget to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. All right, until next time, keep prepping.